buddy.
Awesome.
It's early August, and I'm heading to the Hawaiian Island of Lanai for an axis deer hunt.
Doesn't quite feel like hunt weather, does it?
Oh man, dude. Yeah, no.
Randy Peck, who has become a good friend over the years, invited me to join him on this hunt along with his son Gatlin. Some good friends of Randy's had hunted Lanai a few times and had great hunts. After getting caught up, telling a few stories, and unpacking, we got ready for the morning.
I guess we could just do it on a pan if we need to, if that's...
Nah, it's gonna work, I think. I do want to take some meat home, so
Different numbers. How many do you think's on here?
I think 67.
Okay.
See
You
us.
probably know
We met
more.
up with the head guide Alec to look at maps of the hunting area and plan the morning's hunt.
Running up, they might take everything else. So try not to push them around too much. Then that can be considered a management.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll see some with extra points. Extra points are just given, yeah. So if they have their scoreable 3 points, then
Yep.
We've had a good, exciting morning this morning. We've actually only been at it about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Lots of deer, no really good stalking opportunities yet, but there's a little herd over here with a couple of bucks in it, one pretty good one. There's a couple deer down here that seem to be moving this way, just a couple of does so far. We did have one pretty good buck, and then a jeep came up and kind of blew the area out a little bit, but there's deer kind of all over the place. We're in some really thicker stuff right now. Hard to see them, but we've got a little herd over here that you can see. The grass is a little shorter and the sun's shining on them. There's a couple more that just showed up. Working this way, there's a little buck in there. So Alex said they should be moving towards us as they move up to kind of bed back in here. So I think it's a pretty good strategy to stay here or try to put a stalk as they maybe move this way. just starting the afternoon hunt. We got dropped off from a high point, glassed all in here, and there's a bunch of deer down here. But there's a bachelor group of 5 or 6. A couple of good trophy bucks and a couple of good management bucks. Got good wind, so we're just gonna drop down here. They're pretty relaxed, the truck's taking off. So we'll drop down here. There's a lot of eyes, because just to the right of them is a pretty good group of does. Bow hunting and you loose an arrow, you can't go away too disappointed because you had an opportunity, and I had a phenomenal buck. Sat on him for a little over an hour and just missed the shot. And awesome stock. We worked him for quite a while, but chance to bow hunt in this kind of country with this weather in early August doesn't get much better than that. So we got a couple more days. Looking forward to it. There's a lot of deer here. I mean, just scanning this flat out here. Problem this afternoon was once they start whistling and you can hear them at you, their alarm call, everything looks and everything takes off, and not as much vegetation up here to hide behind. So decided to bug out, come to the road, and we'll just work our way back and call it a day. Hopefully Randy and Gatlin had some opportunities and maybe even some fresh backstraps on the grill tonight. So
this segment is brought to you by Siberian Coolers. Be the alpha, own the alpha. This segment is brought to you by Outdoor Edge. Change your blade, not your knife, with the sharpest, strongest replaceable blade knives.
Well, it's our second morning here in Lanai. Alec dropped us off the same place we were yesterday, and now that we know the lay of the land and kind of some of the deer movement, plan to be a little more patient this morning. A couple of roads here, and the deer seem to cross the roads quite a bit. And when it starts getting warm, then they really start funneling up here. Yesterday we got down there a little too close, a little too tight was shifting and blew some things out, so we'll probably do a little bit more maybe ambushing, trying to get in their way. Still do spot and stalk, but a lot more patient. There's not much wind, and what there is swirling, so it's going to be a sort of an interesting game. Hopefully the wind will pick up and be steady. But man, what a beautiful morning. Best friend, or his worst enemy. Doesn't seem too alarmed. I don't know if he saw something or he's just scanning, but we've got so many deer right now within 300 yards, 400 yards. Stalk, considering. I mean, there have to be 200 deer in here, and to get within 50 yards, actually a couple were here, probably 40. It's pretty good. I still don't have a shot, and now they've split up, and I don't know of any way to get close. To be the end of the day, and I'm not sure what to do. There's tons of deer over here. We're going to walk to the highway so that Alec can pick us up. There's no way we can go around all the deer, so I'm thinking just walk at them. We're going to get blown at, we're going to get barked at, and they may run, but maybe something will happen where it'll cause some pandemonium and something will circle back and give us an opportunity in the last half hour or so. We got another half-mile hike or something, and there's no way we're waiting for these deer to clear. So just gonna make a beeline and see what happens.
This segment is brought to you by Fox Pro and their new Buck Pro electronic deer call. Another morning here in Hawaii. Learned a lot the last day or two. So we came down to a new spot this morning.
Not far from where we've been starting the last couple. But this seems to be a spot where they really cross and head on up to bed. And we missed it a few times the last couple mornings. Looking at all of them, but not getting down here, waiting for them to come up, so we've got a pretty good wind. Hopefully it holds, there's not very much of it. But right now it's really good. Hopefully get them funneling up this way. There's a road right here that they seem to frequent. A couple roads come together. We've seen a lot of deer activity down here the last 2 days, so hopefully putting it together this morning. A lot of it's going to depend on the wind. So we're keeping our fingers crossed we can get it done today. You want to go over here? I'll follow you later. Do you go down this way? That kind of exposes us there, doesn't it?
After the morning hunt, I got the chance to hunt with Alec for the afternoon. I learned a lot hunting on my own the first 2 days, but I was hoping Alec's knowledge of the animals and the area might make the difference. I had fun strategizing with him, and we were around deer all afternoon.
Bush right in front of this vital. Got a shot. I'm not a big fan of 75 yards in the wind. We had a good steady broadside shot at 66. Set my floater at 66 and let it fly. Wind's right into us, and I couldn't see. It sounded like it maybe was a hit, but we saw both sides of the animal, no blood. And he's kind of coming back and licking the top of his back, so I don't know if I pulled high and creased it off the top of his back or what, but there's no blood here. And he's acting fine other than just a little hinky because he got spooked. And there's 75 animals out there barking. I just found the arrow buried here and it's clean, there's nothing on it. I can just think we'll have to review footage when it's a little bigger screen, but I must have just shot right over him. The way he was acting, trying to lick the top of his back, I'm guessing it was high.
After I missed the buck, I continued to hunt the rest of the day. But as the sun got lower, I was starting to come to terms that I may not get an axis on this trip. Our hunt was a 3-day hunt, and since we came all the way to Hawaii, we decided to spend a half a day on an offshore fishing excursion before flying out that evening. We were on the water early and got to see the ocean come to life with the rising sun.
go, buddy.
Hey. A little bit more to think about than you just sit there and reel, you know, with the stack of the line and everything else.
All right, Gatlin, hold
Gatlin
on.
and I did manage to catch a couple fish on the last day. Bow hunting axis deer on Lanai in August was awesome, and even though I didn't fill my tag, I am leaving happy. Gatlin did manage to shoot a deer, and we wrapped up our trip with a delicious dinner of axis backstraps.